This is WKYT This Morning.
Kentucky Morning start right here on WKYT. Time to rise and shine. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Andrea Walker. It is Thursday, October 13th, and it is a busy one in our newsroom.
A lot going on. We're now at 6:31, and an officer-involved shooting is under investigation right now in Rowan County. We'll let you know what we know at this point, just ahead this morning.
Plus, federal officials have denied Kentucky's request for more time to update state driver's licenses. Coming up, we'll explain what that means for you.
And Big Blue Madness is almost here. Coming up, find out how UK is making fans part of this year's show.
And we have some changes on the way in the weather department. Finally, you have something to talk about.
I mean, it's been a while. It's been a long time. I want rain, not just because the yards and the crops, because I want something to talk about. I'm running out of adjectives here, man.
All right, start talking.
Yeah, here we go. Okay, well, look what's outside. Well, you do have some rain. It's not for everybody. And yes, I'm a little jealous of you guys down toward the southwest and southeast because you guys are actually picking up on some rain. But central zones and some northern zones, we haven't really seen rain overnight. I mean, there's been a kind of a void spot across the central zones that does include Lexington, so we're not getting much rain out of this. But down toward the southeast, there you go. Hazard, Jackson, work your way up 15. That's pretty heavily traveled roadway right there in south and southeastern Kentucky. It's going to be pretty wet. High Rogers Parkway, Mountain Parkway, those are pretty wet conditions. Moorhead looks good. I don't see any problems. That goes for Frankfort and Lexington. We haven't seen much of any rain at all. Now, as we get into toward the afternoon, it looks like that front pushes through. And once the front pushes through, it'll actually knock the rain on out of here. The afternoon looks much drier, but it is going to be pretty chilly, 63 degrees. We're going to have that. We'll talk about your Friday into your weekend forecast coming up.
All right, see you shortly. Here's the latest news.
New on WKYT this morning, we're tracking a death investigation in Rowan County.
Here's what we've been able to piece together. A young man was shot and killed overnight. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain has been making a lot of phone calls this morning, and she's at our WKYT alert desk with the new details.
Yeah, I just got off the phone with Kentucky State Police and the Rowan County coroner. They tell me this is an officer-involved shooting. Now, Kentucky State Police trooper was serving an arrest warrant to Matthew Brewer at his home last night on Old Hilda Road, which is just north of Moorhead, just off of Kentucky 32. KSP says when two troopers got to Brewer's home, he ran inside, but while doing so, police say he pointed a gun at trooper Michael Armstrong. That's when police say Armstrong shot Brewer. The 22-year-old man was pronounced dead at the scene around 10:30. Now, we're told Trooper Armstrong was not injured in the shooting, and KSP continues to investigate. Now, one thing we don't know this morning is why Brewer had a warrant out for his arrest. We'll keep you up to date on the story on our website, WKYT.com.
All right, Michelle, thank you very much. Also new on WKYT this morning, a drunk teenager was one of two people arrested after a car was stolen overnight in Lexington. Police say they spotted the stolen car near Cardinal Valley Elementary. They tried to pull it over, but say three people in the car bailed. Police caught up to two of them, and an adult and a juvenile who both say they were intoxicated.
A tragedy in Bell County where three people were killed in a head-on crash. It happened on Highway 119 near Pineville. Police say an SUV crossed the center line and hit another car. The coroner there says the driver of the SUV, Bobby Miller, and a couple in the car that he hit, William and Dina Hampton, all died in that tragic crash. Kentucky's time extension request to update state driver's licenses is to be in compliance with the Real ID Act has been denied by the feds.
This is a big deal. Unless the state makes changes to comply with the federal law by 2018, you won't be able to use a Kentucky driver's license to board a flight. Officials say Kentucky's main problem is that the state does not have a centralized license issuing agency. County clerks issue driver's licenses. Early this year, Governor Bevin vetoed a bill that aimed to bring the state into compliance, claiming there was a lot of public opposition and misunderstanding. An opinion filed by a federal judge says some people who had their disability benefits suspended were treated unconstitutionally by the Social Security Administration. Those people are all former clients of Eastern Kentucky attorney Eric C. Kahn. He's facing charges in federal disability scheme. The judge's opinion says these clients were not given a chance to challenge the government. The judge returned the case to the Social Security Administration.
New this morning, charges have been dropped against a Louisville daycare worker who left a young boy in a hot SUV, causing his death. According to the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office in Louisville, a grand jury decided there is not enough evidence to indict 71-year-old Jacqueline Thomas. Thomas admitted to leaving the child in a car for more than 4 hours back in April. He was found unresponsive when Thomas arrived at an elementary school to pick up other children. Thomas owned a daycare which has since been shut down by the state. Well, the Scott County Sheriff's Office is looking for a man who they say caused some very tense moments during a school field trip over to Evans Orchard.
Intense and scary. A group of children were on the playground when deputies say a man grabbed one of the kids and told them they were going to find his teacher. We're told a bus driver stepped in after witnessing the incident. Deputies say the man then walked away. Investigators say they want to know what his intentions were. They're looking for a man in his 60s, around 5'9", with a thin beard.
Time this morning, 6:36 on WKYT, and state officials have announced the opening of a new training center to help out-of-work coal miners in eastern Kentucky. The Haas East Kentucky Advanced Manufacturing Institute in Paintsville will accept its first class in February. Haas is the largest machine tool builder in the Western world. The 16-week program will train former coal miners how to operate the company's equipment. For those who complete the program, officials say there are at least 200 jobs available within commuting distance of Paintsville, so that's encouraging. All right, big decision has been made by Fayette Mall, and they are joining the growing list of businesses that will not be open on Thanksgiving this year.
Well, last year the mall opened at 6 o'clock on Thanksgiving night, but after much debate, mall officials have decided to stay closed on Thanksgiving and open at 6 a.m. on Black Friday. They say being open on Thanksgiving didn't have a huge impact on holiday sales. They also say it makes things easier on shoppers.
We really found that it would be more sense to just open on Black Friday, bring it all back to there. A lot of family and friends and our retailers are really excited about the fact that they won't have to be there on Thanksgiving.
Mall officials say stores with exterior mall entrances will have the option to open for business on Thanksgiving if they choose to do so.
Well, those openings have just been getting earlier and earlier. So
I know.
Some public backlash, I think.
I think it's a good decision.
All right, so change is made there at Fayette Mall.
And the start of basketball season in the Bluegrass is almost here. You knew that. Big Blue Madness is tomorrow night.
The clock is ticking. Big Blue Madness is the debut for the men's and women's basketball teams at the University of Kentucky. And this year, fans can be a part of the show. You can download the Kentucky Wildcats Game Day app and take part in an interactive light show.
All right, we'll get you set for Big Blue Madness tomorrow at 5:30 on the CW Lexington. It's Countdown to Madness with Dave Baker and Christy Thomas. It's a 90-minute preview of this year's Wildcats, and if you don't have a ticket, you can see Big Blue Madness on the SEC network.
All right, ought to be fun and a great season ahead, hopefully.
Always an exciting event. Well, what is your Halloween costume this year? How about dressing as Ken Bone? Of course.
Okay, you know him now, right?
Of course
there he
you do.
is, the man in the red sweater who became a sensation during Sunday night's presidential debate. The sexy Ken Bone costume.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there it is.
Stop it.
It's actually for young women now, this version. The red sweater, of course, a crop top. There are high-waisted pants, a cropped undershirt. All this goes for about $100. But, yeah. But Ken Bone all of a sudden is a sensation, you know?
See, I'd rather see a guy in this costume. It'd be way funnier if it was a guy. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm sure that would be tried as well. Yeah.
I said someone should wear the olive suit with a hole in the pants because he said he ripped his pants and he was going to wear the olive suit.
Good
that
idea.
would be a better version.
He almost didn't get to ask his question. You know?
I know.
The
They
time
wouldn't
was
have
running
time.
out. Our time this morning is coming up on 6:40 right now.
All right, let's get a check to see how traffic is moving on your Thursday morning.
Here's Officer Don and a check on live drive traffic. Hey, Don.
Hey, good morning. Inbound Leestown Road, just past Masterson Station. A couple of cars involved in a collision. Should be clear in the next couple of minutes. Interstate still looks okay, and so does the Circle. Just checked it from Richmond Road over to Versailles Road on the inner and outer loops, and no problems so far this morning. Get a live look outside. You can see overall traffic flow looks great with no red popping up. That's the main thing. There's a view of Manowar and Richmond Road, courtesy of the Lexington and Fayette Urban County government. Intersections wide open for now. Get there while you can if you're headed that way. Now back to you in the studio.
All right, good idea. And you can get the latest traffic and weather info anytime. WKYT's Weather Plus traffic app available for you. It's free. Download it in the app or Google Play stores, and you'll be ready to go for that next season that's coming up that I will not name.
Right. Shall not be named. That's right.
At this moment, but we know it's coming. More news is coming up on your Thursday on WKYT.
Still to come, a British man is getting ready to do what no man has done before. More on his preparation to swim across the Atlantic Ocean after Micah's forecast.
Got a little rain to talk about early this morning. Those showers move on out of here as we go through the morning hours. Afternoon looks pretty good. It's going to be pretty chilly. I'll show you that in your weekend forecast coming up.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Got a little rain to talk about early this morning as you're walking out the door. There's not a lot with it unless you're down toward the southeast. That's where we're actually picking up on some pretty heavy downpours here and there. It's kind of mixed in with that light rain, but let's zoom on down. Let me show you this, okay? Just roll through Hazard, Hindman, Pippa passes, Alice Lloyd College area. That's where you're seeing that, and Knott County. That's rolling on through. Wilkes-Barre, you're next in line in southern Floyd County. And remember, it's not a lot of rain, but you could get some heavier downpours embedded in this. Jackson dealing with that in Breathitt County. Coming out of Campton, rolling down the Mountain Parkway, heads up Salyersville. You're going to be next in line, and this will roll right through Magoffin County, head over toward Johnson County and also northern Floyd. Prestonsburg, I'd say another 45 minutes or so, and you'll start to see some heavier downpours, at least the opportunity of that. Not seeing much out toward Moorhead. We have had a few sprinkles here and there. And London Corbin coming in at 56 degrees. Watch out 75 going Rockcastle southbound. That's where we have some rain. And you got to remember this. When you do not pick up rain, this is very important. When you don't pick up rain for a long time, on those roadways, a lot of these cars, I mean, they just leak oil, right, as they're driving. So that oil builds up and builds up on the roads, and then you get some rain on that, and it makes it for very slick conditions. This happens every single time when we haven't had rain for a long time, and then we get some. It causes some accidents across town. More than likely, you're going to hear about that as we go throughout the morning hours once rush hour picks up. So just take it easy. Remember that as you're driving early this morning. The Bourbon Chase is going on, and that actually kicks off tomorrow, off into your Saturday. Watch for roughly 4,000 people running, okay? My wife did this last year, and she said there were some close times that people just don't see you at night. Remember, they run through the night and into Saturday, so just keep that in mind. Only a small chance of rain if you're one of the competitors. Highs right around 70 degrees. Looks pretty good, feels pretty good. Lows, right there in the 40s. That might be a little bit chilly with that rain chance there Friday night into Saturday. But it's a 200-mile race. Not for me. I'm all right. All right, better you than me. Let's talk about your Thursday, Friday, and Saturday forecast. Break it down for you. Rest of the afternoon, we're holding on lows in mid-60s, and it looks pretty good off into the afternoon hours. Friday, I still don't see any problems for some of those festivals and activities kicking off. Once we head off into the weekend, it looks pretty good after Friday night football remaining mostly dry. Weekend, not so bad. I would say Saturday is your better chance of rain at 40%, but that's still, it's not a great chance, and mainly south of I-64, guys. This weekend will be mostly dry, but we just can't rule out a couple of showers here and there. Nothing that's going to rain out your parade. I promise you that. So just keep with your plans. Just know a passing shower storm is possible.
Sounds good. Well, we'll arrange a shorter race for you, maybe.
Yeah. Why not?
I'll race from here to the door, man. Okay. Don't send me on 200 miles, man. I'll never make it.
You always get to that door pretty fast.
That's right.
Thank you, Mike. It's 6:47 is our time this morning.
Well, a British man is hoping to make a splash and set an impressive world record while he's at it.
Absolutely. Ben Hooper is going to try to swim across the Atlantic Ocean. There you go, Micah. Another challenge. He's going to set out from the capital of Senegal on November 1st and try to swim to Brazil. Now, if he succeeds, he would be the first person to ever swim across an ocean in full. It's about 2,000 miles from Africa to Brazil. It'll take Hooper about 140 days to swim across the Atlantic. He'll sleep on a boat and swim in 10-hour shifts. And get this, if he fails on his first attempt, well, then Hooper says he'll just try it again.
If I don't make this, as long as I have at least one leg and one arm, I will bloody do it again, and I will get it done.
All right. Hooper says he'll raise money for several charities on his swim. A documentary team will also follow him across the Atlantic.
Well, good for him.
All right.
I've never had the desire to do something like that, but I'm impressed with people who do.
Swim across the ocean.
Good for you, buddy.
Because it's there, right?
There you go.
All right, we have our top stories coming up for you in just a bit, and CBS This Morning is on the way at 6:48 now.
More news when we come back.
Coming up, allegations of sexual assault against Donald Trump. We'll talk with the journalist reporting some of the new claims. Plus, missile attacks launched overnight by the U.S. in Yemen. The latest from the Pentagon. More real news coming up on CBS This Morning, next.